Howdy diddly do, everybody. Welcome to the Words About Games podcast. It is me, yes, hosting this week. Aren't you flipping lucky? Davin Mark Moody here, the redundant one still, sadly, but we'll see in the future, hopefully. But joining me today is, as always, the fabulous, the glorious Vitz Patel. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you so much for that kind intro. Welcome, everybody, to the speedrun of Words About Games podcast.
Speed running it, we're gonna get it under an hour, and Amy's gonna fucking hate us so much. And she'll do a 3-hour episode next week. So even if we leave,
pay for
she'll stay on for another hour just to get the hour back. That's how bad it will be that's how annoyed she will be by this. But no, we've got some news to talk about and everything. But I want to just shout out for you. I've watched the first 2 seasons of Vox Machina.
I told you so.
I've smashed them. I'm on the 3rd season now, and oh my god, that's a great show.
Yeah.
It is
so for the uninitiated, we're referring to Critical Role, The Legend of Vox Machina, available on Amazon Prime. So this is the abridged telling of the first campaign that Critical Role ran, and it's amazing. And if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, then do so. Season 3 recently dropped, and they're doing it in phases of 3 episodes at a time. Which is better than just going week to week kind of thing. So 12 episodes are available in season 3 at the moment, and it's awesome. So yeah, highly recommend checking that out. And I was just saying to Moody during the week, I gave the first episode of Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft a go, and it didn't hit for me. But I hope it does for those who are interested in that. Nothing against Hayley Atwell. I think she did really, really well in the performance. It's just everything else around that just didn't resonate. So yeah,
that's a shame to hear that. I haven't checked it out, and I haven't heard much about it, so we'll see if it does blow up and everything for it. But it's really, really good. Vox Machina. It's so within the first episode, the characters you know them, know that's who these are. There's more to spread to obviously show in the future episodes and everything, which I think they do expertly so well on the show. The animation, I think, is just top notch. It's such a good. It's not. I'm sorry, people who love Invincible. It's 10 times better animation than Invincible. I know Invincible's is a certain choice, but these characters I like. Invincible, I can't stand.
Yeah,
that's the thing about it. What makes Invincible annoying for me is that I can't stand the main character right now. That's why I haven't touched the second season right now. And I'm still very intrigued to see. I know what happens in the comic book. I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna find out. I want to know what it is and see what's what. And I know something's coming up, which I am fascinated to see what the internet is going to think about.
Right, yeah. So season 3, I understand, drops early next year with no mid-season break like season 2 had, which I know the internet will like about that. But if the internet are like anything like their reaction to Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft, well, the incels were at it again because of how Lara was animated this time around, then I'm sure they'll take issue with Invincible as well.
No, it's not about
I get that. They'll find something. Yeah.
No, it's not about that. It's something that's going to happen. What I think is going to divide the internet, because I'm pretty sure it divided the comic book readers. For it. So I don't think it's going to be next season, but I'm fascinated to see how they handle it. For it, but if people who listen to this, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, and people who don't know, don't go and check it out. Just don't for it, because we'll see. We'll definitely see. But if it is next season, that's going to be interesting. But I don't know for it. But yeah, Vox Machina, I'm loving. I really enjoyed. I think I'm in the 3rd episode or 4th episode of season 3 right now, so really, really enjoyed it. The characters are just really well written.
Yeah, and then
really so good.
The way they translated the arcs follow the same story arcs as the actual D&D campaign that they played. Obviously, it's a truncated one, so we had the Briarwoods arc, and now we've got the Chroma Conclave arc happening, and it's all different kinds of awesome. But the video games have been good this week. I've been sinking some more time into Metro ReFantasio. Do I have a story to tell you about how I acquired that game?
Go on, story time with Mr. Vitz Patel.
Exactly. Yeah. So as many as you know, we tried the demo, and I liked what was there, and was kind of umming and ahhing about whether I was going to pick up the full game on like release day and things like that. Then I took a listen to the soundtrack, and those chants in Esperanto, they just got to me, and I was like, okay, we need to go pick up this game. It was too late to get it on launch day, so I was like, okay, Saturday morning I'll order it from an Argos, which is local to us kind of thing, and we'll go and pick it up. The local Argos didn't have it, so there's one that was like 30 minutes away. I was like, you know what, I'll get up first thing, we'll knock this journey out, it'll be no worries. Then it's like, okay, you need some fuel. Well, I need to fuel up my car, so no big deal. We've got a fuel station just down the road, kind of thing. So there at the fuel station, I was like, well, as I'm here and the windows and the weather's starting to get a little bit chilly, although it's been unseasonably warm this week, I'll pump up the tires, kind of thing, lower rolling resistance, get more fuel mileage, that kind of thing. So they do my fuel, all the rest of it, park up to kind of go to the station where we can fill up our tires, and there's an elderly couple there in the bay. And there's only one bay where you can fill your tires up. And I was like, okay, you know, give them the time it takes. So the driver gets out, and she, you know, changes her glasses and whatnot, and gives the label in the in the car to tell you what pressures to put in the tires, a good read, and then she can't find them out. So presumably her partner, like her husband, gets out, walks around, shuffles around, then he has a good look, and this is going on for a good 5 minutes. At this point, I'm like, okay, do I go out and help them? But at that point, they go put some money in the machine, and they start doing, and then you know, they're taking an age to get the dust caps off and things like that. And then I think the husband, who I presume the husband anyway, they tried to be all macho about it. Oh no, I shall do this. I shall operate the air thingy. He tries to put it on the tire valves. He can't get it done, and he has to go sit down. So it takes around about 10 minutes for them to fill up the thing. As they're filling up their fourth tire, they've taken so long that the actual pump has stopped, because you only get like 7 odd minutes with the thing. So they're like, you know what,
domestic during that time. So.
This is it. You know what? They say, okay, we'll just run with what we have. So they put the tire caps on, and they're still in this bay. Then they decide, oh, we're going to let the grandchildren out, and then take them around inside the filling station and get whatever sweets and treats they need. A good 15 minutes later, they come out. No word of an apology, nothing like that. They all bundle in, and they get off. And then I was like, okay, well, they've gone now. How much worse can it be? So I do those, fill my tires to 40 PSI and all the rest of it.
Just because you said those words yourself, I can hardly think it's got worse.
Yeah, then I was like, okay, I haven't been to this particular Argos before. It's inside a Sainsbury's, which, if you're outside the UK, is one of our many supermarkets that we have over here, kind of thing. And it's all owned by the same group. So it's like half an hour away. I don't know it before, so I bring up the maps in Google Maps, kind of thing, and it says, okay, this is the best way to go around it. And it sends me down effectively a single track country lane, which is fine. However, because many people in the UK now decide to drive big SUV type vehicles, they don't get out of your way nor make any meaningful efforts to kind of veer to their side of the road. So they're driving in the middle of the road, take up both lanes if there are two, kind of thing. And because they're in newer cars, everybody tends to buy new cars and lease them these days, like, so I'm having to drive into effectively the bush and the verge in order to get past them, all to get this video game. And it takes what should have been a 30-minute journey, takes closer to an hour to get there. On the way back, I went a completely different way, just came out the motorway, because I was like, you know what, fuck this. I don't care if it's longer, all the rest of it, we'll just get it done. So, yeah, that it was a mission to get that game. But thankfully, the game itself has been awesome. I am now, I want to say 12 hours in, and I've done whatever portion was in the demo itself, and now into kind of the main meat of the game, as it were. And it is awesome, and the soundtrack is banging. And yeah, like I was seeing some friends yesterday in London, and we were talking about the game, and they haven't started yet, but they're really big fans of Persona 5. So I was like, this is more Persona 5. This is exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, shout out to the one and only Rahula Hoop. He's looking forward to jumping into this game as well. But yeah, I was ready to murder some people in the fuel station.
I would have murdered someone, Vitz. I won't lie. I would have been shouting and bawling at them. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
They didn't unleash their children whilst they were getting the or even, take the one person's filling up because they got petrol beforehand kind of thing. So while you're filling up, take the kids into the shop then get whatever you need, then go mess around in the tire thingy. But yeah.
Oh, dude, you're too polite for you to your own being sometimes. If it was me, I would have gone out and I would have said, yo, you're not waiting. You're moving your car so I can do my stuff as well. You're not. If I had a giant American SUV, I would have hit the fucker and moved it myself. And just left in my car there. Call my insurance. I don't care. This is insane how much you're making me bloody wait, you pin in the backside, I'll call them. But yeah.
The things we go to get video games is insane.
yeah, I won't lie. There is some, no doubt about it. Me, I haven't had that bit of a week at all, so I've been pretty chill, I won't lie. I started Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Nice. How is that?
Yeah. It's really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's cutesy. It's adorable. The animation is just like Link's Awakens remake was.
Yeah. So done by the same studio. So Grezzo did this game as well.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's really, really canny. I think there's some things that I think they could have tweaked and everything, but other than that, like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 4 hours in so far. It's apparently a long ass game, so I'm like, damn, man. So I need to get. I've only played it. Like, I played it for like 4 hours. I think it was Monday or Tuesday this week, and I haven't been back on it since then because Alien Romulus released on digital.
It sure did, yeah.
So I was like, I've been preoccupied rewatching other stuff, but it's an enjoyable game. It really is. It's tight. It plays really well, and I am really cracking on. I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to talking about it when I hopefully properly finish it before Amy arrives in a couple of weeks.
Hell yeah!
I gotta get shit done. I haven't played Astrobot either. Like, when I heard it came out, the worst thing is I should never turn the TV on in the morning, because when I turn it up, it literally advertisement Alien Romulus is out on digital. I was like, oh,
out the window.
Plans just rip, took my diary, threw it out the window, and said, well, I know what my plans are today. And for the rest of the week. But no, it's been really, really canny. I've mostly, while I've been there, I've been playing a lot of my DS. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Black or White. Which one have I got? I keep forgetting. White. I've got White. I got Black as well, but Amy has that right now. And we'll get that shortly. But it's I've been doing a lot of that and just chilling for the most part. So it's been a pretty chill week. It's been a pretty chill week, no doubt about it. If anyone's wondering, where is Amy? Where's the star of this show and everything like that? We fired her. We just said,
it's true.
You're fired. And she was like, how can you do this? We can.
We said we jumped into the analytics. We said we looked at the comments. People want shorter episodes.
They wanted shorter episodes, so to make it even shorter, we're going to shut up now and get on with the news. No, she'll be back next week. She just couldn't do it to this week and everything, and she will be back next week. Absolutely. Probably to make it a 3-hour episode, like we've already stated. But let's crack on with the news this week. We've got a few pieces of news that we brought together and everything. And we're going to start off with, sadly, the thing that just has kept on going in this industry that sadly I've stated happened to me. Sorry,
it happened to him, it could happen to you.
If it happened to me, it could happen literally to anyone. More layoffs have happened. And sadly, these are two prolifical studios. One's doing a very interesting way how to get people to leave, but we'll get onto them in a minute. But we'll go to the one that is just constantly always making money and yet still sacking off people, and that is Riot Games has eliminated 32 League of Legends roles for their company and everything. Their biggest game that brings in pretty much all of their revenue basically, and they've just laid off 32 roles, and I think that's around like 27 people from their League of Legends team. In a statement via Twitter, sorry, I'm never going to say X. will never. Riot co-founder Mark Merrill assured League of Legends players that the studio was not slowing down work on the game you love. Why fire people? Okay. This isn't about reducing headcount to save money. Yeah, you make money. It's about making sure we have the right expertise so that League continues to be great for another 15 years and beyond. Okay, I've got interesting thoughts on that one. Quote, while team effectiveness is more important than team size, the league team will eventually be even larger than it is today as we develop the next phase of League of Legends. For rioters who are laid off, we're supporting them with severance packages that include a minimum of 6 months' pay, annual bonus, job replacement assistance, health coverage, and more. Merrill finished on a certain full confidence on the head of League Studio, Andrea Van Ron. I think I've said that right. I do apologize if I haven't. And executive producer Paul Bezella. Says leadership had made changes to our teams and how we work to make sure we can keep improving League experience now and for long term. It is unclear how many has been impacted by the cuts, but I think it's like roughly around, to what I know, around the 30 mark, if not more. But if anyone has heard any otherwise, please let us know in the comments when this releases and everything. I've seen a lot on LinkedIn, like a lot of people saying, I have been affected by this, I have been affected by this. So I think it is like it might be even higher, I don't really know, but like they keep it, obviously don't want to reveal the number, but eventually it'll eventually come out. For it. Again, Vitz, Riot Games doing what Riot Games do. Basically, a big corporate company is just like, we're going to making all this money, but we're still going to lay off a ton of people. I don't believe the thing of like it's to save money whatsoever, because you literally contradict yourself on the part of saying we're eventually going to be a larger team.
Exactly.
So why shrink the freaking thing? But what are your thoughts? I'm curious.
So it's more word salads from execs, and Riot has a lineage of being terrible to its employees, whether it's through harassment and indeed sexual harassment. And now we're just seeing that a number of unidentified number of people have been eliminated for no good reason, because it's not like, as you say, it's not like Riot titles are doing bad. Like Valorant is going from strength to strength, and League is the same, and they've got new projects like 2XKO coming on, which is the fighting game coming on stream next year. It's in early access, I understand, at the moment. And yeah, it's just weird the kind of mental gymnastics that these execs will jump through to kind of make themselves feel better. The one saving grace is that obviously this is a terrible situation for everyone involved, but they seem to be doing at least the bare minimum in terms of supporting them afterwards, in terms of, guaranteeing 6 months pay and annual bonuses and things like that, because we see other studios where this isn't the case, kind of thing. And people will be banking on annual bonuses, especially companies like Blizzard during the Bobby Kotick era, in terms of this is where the large part of their quote unquote salary comes from, which is their bonuses, which is a weird way of going about it. But it's good that these are being kind of shored up and to say you will absolutely get this. And in terms of getting help with healthcare and that going forwards, and having assistance doing or getting your next role is really important. I know that obviously in the US they don't necessarily have much employee protection, and it's more geared towards the corporations in terms of what they can get away with. And
capitalism, baby.
Absolutely. And it was very different to Japan, which will be the next story that we get into here. But my heart goes out to everybody Riot who's affected, and hopefully this is the only negative thing that happened during your tenure there. Like I said, we've heard a wide list of tales of fellow writers who have experienced much worse to the company. So we're over 13,000 now for the year of people that have been laid off. That's just this year, and we were saying last year how ridiculous it was to begin with, and now we're at 13,000.
I think we hit like 10,000 in the last 4 months, wasn't it, of the year and everything, and that's when it started to truly kick off. We're now in the last three months of the year now, touch wood, it doesn't doesn't get any worse and everything. But obviously going off what everyone basically the industry saying, they're expecting this to continue all the way up till the end of 2025, which sucks. It absolutely sucks. It's deplorable. I will give them a tip of the hat to the part of like they're giving them 6 months pay. That is massive. That's that depending on where they live and everything. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure Riot Games Studios in Texas. I might be wrong. That is massive 6 months pay and everything, along with the annual bonus and health coverage. Yeah, that will help out, no doubt about it. But like, they'll trade it all back just to keep the jobs and everything, man. Especially as you coming out and saying, "Hey, we're going to make the cut team larger and everything." Then why are you firing these off? Yeah, like it was interesting that they like stated that was it while the team's effectiveness is more important than the size, the League of Legends. No, not that part. For right, so there was a part, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. This isn't about reducing the headcount to save money. It's about making sure that we have the right expertise for League of Legends. Then, well, you guys are the ones who have hired these people. Yeah. You will know after at least a minimum of 3 months, which is 9 times out of 10, your probation, if they are up to snuff here. Now, if you've kept them on and they continue not being up to snuff, and I don't know any of these people whatsoever, that's on them and everything. That's on Riot, and what just makes them even more incompetent. They're just like that you're hiring people who are not competent and experts at doing this game and everything. I highly don't believe that personally.
And the failure lies with the management, and by the looks of things, none of the management are going.
It never is. Yeah. Never is whatsoever. Like, hell, I wish I got what they were getting, though, when I was so redundant. Damn, 6 months, annual bonus and everything like that? Jesus. Oh, the shitstorm that's coming at my former studio right now, it's insane, which we'll get into eventually one day. Absolutely. For that. But again, yes, I hope everyone who has been affected by these layoffs at Riot Games does land on their feet as soon as possible. If you need anything, even if it's just to share your stuff in LinkedIn, which I do pretty much anytime I see someone who's been made redundant, just like because spread out as best I can to say, yo, this person, if you know anything, let them know, that type of thing and whatnot, to help them out in any way if it means just finding a job and whatnot. Next one, just want to say that that's the one. Riot Games article came from gamesindustry.biz, and this next one is coming from Video Games Chronicle, and this is about Bandai Namco has reportedly cancelled several titles and is cutting its workforce. And the company is apparently doing it in a very interesting way. I'm not going to lie, when I heard this, I was like, wait, what? I wish this was over here because damn, no one would be arguing for this. But no, either way, the company is reportedly trying to push employees to leave rather than fire them because obviously the laws are completely different over there. If they fired them, they would have to help them immediately trying to find a new job instantly. That if I remember that correctly. If I'm wrong, please let me know. According to Bloomberg, citing sources familiar to the matter, the company is taking a traditional Japanese approach to reducing staff and sending workers to rooms where they are giving nothing to do, putting pressure on them to leave voluntarily. Yeah,
so if I can step in for a moment. So this is another instance where Japanese culture appears quirky to us Westerners and the like. So it's a huge faux pas for a Japanese company to fire people. It's not to say it doesn't happen. If you're like grossly incompetent in your job, then you will get fired, kind of thing. But in an honor-based culture such as Japan, what they will tend to do is to make your working environment such a hostile place that you will leave voluntarily, and then if you do that, then they don't necessarily have to give you all of the financial support and whatnot that would be legally required if you were to be just laid off, kind of thing. So they will shove you in a room and give you nothing to do, and so you're just there twiddling your thumbs in terms of, all right, well, I best I guess the writing's on the wall, I best find another job, kind of thing. I'll be interested to see if anybody just sits there and just says, well, this is fine, I'm just going to take a nap in the corner. What are you going to do?
I would bring my bed in. Exactly. But anyway, studio reportedly they've moved 200 workers to such rooms, leading to almost 100 resignations.
So half of them haven't cracked yet.
Yeah, half of them have not. You stay strong, guys. Exactly. Stay strong. You keep earning that wage by doing fuck all.
Salary man, you take your body pillow and you march into that room and you take a nap.
Hell yeah. You take that giant Snorlax pillow, you jump on it, and you fall asleep. You curl up like a little baby. A representative of Bandai Namco has told Bloomberg, our decision to discontinue games are based on comprehensive assessments to the situation. Some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they are assigned their next project. But we do move forward with assignments as new projects emerge. There's no organization like an
Odashi Baya.
No, Dashi Baya. That's interesting. Designed to pressure people to leave voluntarily. So Odashi Baya is a practice used by Japanese corporations to isolate employees by giving them no tasks in an effort to get them to leave on their own voluntary validity, rather than be let go and receive severance. It's very interesting that while this is happening, Dragon Ball Z Sparkling Zero has been a massive sales giant for them. Right now, just within the first 24 hours of its launch, it has sold 3 million units worldwide. That's according to the publisher. That is a lot of Kamehamehas, indeed. There's no doubt about it. But no, it's... I hope, again, just like on the last story, that everyone lands on their feet as soon as possible, but it is a batshit crazy way to try and get rid of employees.
Yeah.
It's insane, and I'm not for it. I don't care if you're Japanese, or if you're American, or if you're European or British. That is just deplorable to put them in your room to make them feel so bad that they're not doing anything. Yeah. I won't lie, it wouldn't work on me.
Even the second line of that statement here, saying some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they're assigned their next project. That is poor management. You need to have your pipeline set up in such a way that as soon as you deliver during post-production and whatnot, that the next project is in pre-production and you're moving teams around, kind of thing, because you don't need all hands on deck once a game is shipped, that kind of thing. So that is, again, it's an abject failure on management, and they don't seem to be the ones sent to an empty room designed to do nothing. So yeah, another wild.
I think that's a good title for the podcast for Amy. Amy, yes. If you're listening, and I know you will be, the title you could call this is just abhorrent management behavior or something like that, on the terms of that. Just useless managers strike again or something for this episode. But no, yeah, it's sucking. We're at 13,000 plus now. Going off the article site that we have on our Google Doc, for the Riot ones, it says 32 people of the numbers affected. They don't have a number for me, for my company. I can confirm it was 22 people who were laid off on my side. And yeah, it is a shit. So like I said, we don't know the accurate number. That's the worst thing about it. It says 13,000 just from the numbers that people have put in, but there's a lot of them that don't say the number. So Absolutely. It's like, it could be 14, 15, if not higher, which is just even more scarier and everything. So is there anything else you want to say on these two stories before we move on, Vitz?
No, just please, if you happen to be affected, obviously do what's best for you in that situation, even if it is taking another job which is outside the video game industry. As the writing's on the wall, this needs to be a volatile place for the next couple of years at least. I know Moody alluded to possibly the end of 2025 being kind of the end of the culling.
Hopefully, cross fingers.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee to that, because as we've said on many occasions, none of the management who made these stupid ass decisions to land us in this place seem to be going anywhere. So it's their brilliant minds which are going to lead us into the future as well. So stay safe and stay connected with your support networks, and I hope beyond hope that you all land on your feet.
Unionize.
Absolutely, yes. Unionize.
Like, seriously, get onto your union and unionize. And I hope everyone lands on their feet. Stay safe, everybody. Vitz, let's move on to your thing.
So as we're recording this podcast in 2024, 20 years ago, a little game called Gran Turismo 4 released, and it was instantly, and pretty much to this day, regarded as the greatest racing video game of all time. Not only for the kind of vast array of cars that it had and tracks, including original tracks, licensed tracks for the first time, as in tracks which appeared in the real world, which were appearing in video games, and the progression more than anything in terms of the way it took you through the Gran Turismo mode, which is that career mode to say, and the way it had you driving slower cars and needing to tune those up, and then allowing you to have the credits to buy better cars that you need for other championships, and kind of how every single car in the game has a use case, which is many of the kind of complaints that we levy at Gran Turismo 7, and how they've just completely lost their way. So most people have been pining for those heady days of Gran Turismo 4. This year, I happened to come across a mod for Gran Turismo 4, which is called Spec II. So a couple of months ago at this point, on this very podcast, Gran Turismo 7 had their Spec II update, and it brought a raft of changes and all the rest of it. Gran Turismo 4 never got that, mostly because during PS2, you didn't really get updates over the internet and things like that. They only shipped the one disc, and then they called it a day and moved on. So Spec 2 was a passion project made by a bunch of modders who loved this game and wanted to bring a number of quality of life changes to it, and add some things and tweak some things, and make it a much more complete experience. And that's what I've been able to do. So I've been playing on my PC, and you do need to jump through a number of hoops in order to get this to run. So you need a particular version of Gran Turismo 4, which is the online beta for the North American region, which came out in 2006. So you do need that in order to get this mod to work. And then what you can also do is the Gran Turismo community, the modding community at least, they've been on it non-stop. So they've released essentially HD texture packs for every single surface in the game. So once you apply that on top of the Spec 2 mod, it looks like a brand new game. Of course, it doesn't look as good as Gran Turismo 7 does playing on the PlayStation 5 and whatnot, but it's a transformative experience. And you know when you go back to play an old game and it's like, my memory thinks the game looks like this, but when you actually go and play it, it looks like 10 times worse. With this like retexture mod, it's how your memory kind of displays it to you in terms of this is how it always was, but clearly it wasn't, kind of thing. So it is a vastly improved experience over Gran Turismo 7, just in terms of the progression, and it's so much fun to play, and the physics are still on point, and we've been able the modding community have been able to get use of your racing wheels to work on there as well, and through again a number of hoops, you can even play this on your original PlayStation 2 hardware if you've got all the bells and whistles that you need to get this running. But Gran Turismo 4 Spec 2 is a must-play experience for anybody who is a Gran Turismo fan and constantly hears people ranting and raving about how awesome GT4 was, and this is the reason why. And now this is a new and fresh take, and the kind of streamlining that's been done, and new events have been added, which use even more of the car roster. And it seems that this is a development that, had Polyphony Digital had the means to do it, this is what they would have done. So nothing seems kind of out there and far-fetched and, well, this is ridiculous, but rather than having a new category of championships and things to say, oh, this actually works, this fits the cadence of what came before and what you're going to do afterwards. And whilst there are certain limitations which are still present in like the original game, so for the longer races, there's no like weather changing, there's no dynamic weather, there's no dynamic change night to day cycle and things like that, or day to night cycle even. You can still streamline a lot of those, and many of the they've incorporated cheats, so like the 24-hour races, you don't have to do. You can like put a series of button inputs in, and then you can instantly win that race and get the reward and so forth. But they've added new driving missions, they've added new championships, new races, and even updated cars. So because you're playing on this North American version, that came initially with a different car roster than, say, the Japanese version or the European version. So they've all been added into this one instance of the game, and it's awesome. So yeah, highly recommend people check out this. That's Gran Turismo 4 Spec II. If you Google it, there is a website, and it's run by the Atomizer and yeah, Nenkai, who is kind of prolific in the Gran Turismo modding scene. They've been one of the stalwarts behind it as well. Silent Warrior 112 has come up with the HD texture mod as well, and a lot of the content creators in the Gran Turismo space have been going back and playing this. So your likes of Jimmy Broadbent has been doing like a full playthrough of this on his channel as well, and yeah, it's still getting regular updates, and you do need a separate kind of installer and in order to unpack and reload the new patches and things. So again, there's further hoops to jump through, and it's my kind of second experience modding games after like putting some quality of life stuff into Baldur's Gate 3, so I survived. But yeah, the juice is worth it, because Gran Turismo 4 in this Spec 2 has been amazing to play, and it just makes me even more cross that they dropped the ball so hard with future Gran Turismos, and then what we at with GT7, and there didn't seem to be any light at the tunnel. So yeah.
When 7 doesn't work, go back to 4. That's how you do it.
That's
everything and upgrade it. No, that's really great to hear that. Somewhat like I've heard, obviously, like I'm not the Gran Turismo guy or anything like that, but I obviously know like Turismo 4 was like lauded like crazy.
It's still
to hear that. Yeah, to hear that it's still the go, and it's been upgraded to be even greater goat. That's just great to hear for everyone who loves that game, especially for people who are just not enjoying Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah,
like yourself, or heck, even people who aren't enjoying like the Horizon games right now and whatnot. I know the last one was very divisive, I think, for people. And yeah, it is an interesting thing, no doubt about driving games. Are like, they like, if you nail it, you nail it. And
yes.
But if you go backwards, you're gonna massively hear about it. It's like, I think that's what like Codemasters are going through right now. Like the last F1 game, I don't think it's been well received by their players and even everything.
Like, even WRC, so the World Rally Championship title, instead of having a new game this year, they're having an update pack to WRC 23. So I don't think it's full price, but people seem to be angry at that as well, because there are a lot of like unfinished aspects of the handling model and stuff like that in WRC, which they wanted to be fixed, rather than just, here's all the 2024 cars and drivers, here you go, here's like a palette swap, and away you go with the same structures and things. So yeah, find your happy place when it comes to driving games, and there are means to go and play them. And yeah, now it's got me jonesing, saying, oh, do I go back and give like Burnout 3 a go? See if we can get that running up in a playable state.
Burnout is like, yeah, depending on which one it is, like you really go for. Like I get confused which one like was the one that is great. I know Paradise is great.
Yeah, 3 Takedown. So Burnout 3 Takedown, and then Burnout Revenge was the ones for me. And then yeah, Paradise is great, but I think I prefer the more curated tracks that kind of 3 and Revenge had. But yeah, find your happy place and be there, and especially like, you know how we all wish that we want to live in precedented times. We don't live in unprecedented times anymore. Sometimes you need to find your comfort food when it comes to games, and this happens to be one of mine.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, most definitely. Especially if you're having a bad day and you're just like, I need to let off some steam. That means driving like a nutter in a video game, or me beating up Pokemon with my own Pokemon. You bloody do it. You find that thing and you do that shit. Or for a lot of people, you jump into Baldur's Gate 3 and shag a bear.
There you go. Speaking of Pokemon, so I don't think it's on the dock today, and we can just touch on it and move on. So do you happen to take a cheeky look at the stuff that was leaked? So Game Freak.
I know things. Yes.
Okay, fine. So for those who are unaware, so Game Freak, the developers behind the mainline Pokemon games, they were hit with essentially someone hacked their servers and found a whole lot of stuff which in good conscience wasn't meant for public consumption. And the rabid fan base that the Pokemon fan base are, they gobbled this shit up. And if I had my reservations about how messed up Pokemon was as a franchise beforehand, this new stuff blew my mind. And like I said, we don't have to get into it because I have no problem. Well, no, but people are sensitive.
It'll make the episode longer. It'll make the episode longer for him.
So there's like new sprites which have been uncovered, like evolutions too. I think Licky Tongue was supposed to get one called Licky Licky, and they're kind of spiral shaped and they look really cool. So yeah, we missed out on some of those, and then as it turns out, one of the staff members there was really into writing lore and the whole backstory for Pokemon and stuff like that. And one of the things that came out was a piece which again was translated and stuff, and it was posted, and there were screenshots going around social media and whatnot. And to cut a long story short, there was a particular Pokemon who was knocking around a village, and the village was occupied by humans, as you would expect, kind of thing. And they were not big fans. Nobody liked this Pokemon, and they got really mad about it. And they were talking to the rest of their Pokemon friends, who were of the same type, I think, or the same Pokemon. And yeah, they were really mad, and it's like, well, we've got to do something about this. Even though they only said their name to each other, because of course. So what they decided to do was steal a woman from the village and gang rape her. And this is in the text. This is in the text. I am not making it up. I wish I was. Then this woman gives birth to a Pokemon. And then the village shuns this woman because she gave birth to a Pokemon. And then she had to go, and then I think she died, or the Pokemon died, and they go and bury it on the side. So not only is this game around enslaving, animals, and then making them fight each other like dog fights and cockfights and things like that, and having children getting thrown out their house when they're 10 years old and gambling for cash money on these fights. Now you got Pokemon raping people, and it's kind of, okay, this was in a lockbox in Game Freak's Darkest Dungeons and whatnot, but this shit is out here now. What else do we not know about this franchise?
Well, so my take is on it. Yeah, so one, this leak happened apparently in August and everything. So this has been like, they've been expecting this to drop for a while and everything. It's interesting that they've just said something now, or it's just been revealed now and everything. But either way, when it comes to the law and everything like that, there's batshit crazy law. There's no doubt about that. But this for me is just like, this is just them so they obviously take inspiration from a lot of mythology from different states around the world and everything. Different cultures and everything. Don't know why I said states. I'm American.
Exactly.
States. Cultures around the world.
They get in Florida.
Some of that. For me, this was how I see it in my stead. In my mind is that this was just them just writing something up in a very graphic way.
Yeah.
And then to make it as graphic as possible, and then from then they've toned it down all the way to quote unquote pokerify it.
They throw it all at the wall and they see what sticks, and then that's become official law.
Because there's still some batshit crazy stuff out there for what is legit.
Absolutely. You get some of these Pokédex descriptions and they go, what?
Yeah. Like Frostlass? Oh shit. Like she's one of my favorite Pokemon, that one. And there's a backstory for that. Is insane. Murder and everything and hanging people and whatnot. And it's just like, oh, that's interesting.
So my favorite bit that came out of all this is that obviously this screenshots went around of this story about the gang rape and all the rest of it. Yeah. And all the comments were like, oh, why was it that Pokemon? This Pokemon's way sexier. Why wasn't it that one that raped the woman? I was like, that's your takeaway from this?
Poker fans, like, oh, you're crazy. The whole
Poker files be wild.
Poker files are insane. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, I have seen it. It's interesting that because of this leak, and I think it's kind of confirmed, like, the god state for people who, like, are really into the mythology of Pokemon and, like, the consensus of like what is like, so Arceus is the god, and then there's this trio, and then this trio and whatnot, and it's just like, hey, that's interesting. That's when it comes to this type of thing, they're batshit crazy over there. they're nuts. We all know this and
I'm waiting
whatnot.
for all the evangelical people to come around and like back when they did in '96, saying the children are following the wrong god. It should be Jesus.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It is insane. There's no doubt about it. But all I'll say is like this: so for everybody who's like is looking forward to obviously ZA that's coming out probably in the next 12 months, and obviously Generation 10, which is probably 2026, the 30th anniversary for Pokemon.
Big year.
The source code's out there.
Yes,
they got the source code for these two games. And like apparently like ZA, which is kind of expected, is pretty much in a finished state. They're just polishing it like crazy. Which I think it's funny that, yes, I was correct. It was meant to come out this year. Yes. Booyah! And whatnot. Damn. So be careful. So if they figure out and getting that on, that could be coming online any day. For both games, which is kind of scary.
The takeaways for me is who was stupid enough to do this in the first place and not think that the Pokemon Company or Nintendo, two of the most litigious companies in the world, won't come for them and take their kneecaps off them.
Yeah, like Nintendo have just now started a war with Palworld, which they'll probably win.
Oh, absolutely.
You think they don't have the money to come after you, little person? Because they will find you.
One of the interesting things for me that came out was that the essentially official box art in terms of all the sides and whatnot for some of the games were released to the wild as well, in terms of people who make replica boxes and whatnot. They can now use essentially official artwork and mock these up. Now I think how it's going to impact the resale market is kind of interesting to me, in terms of now loose carts can essentially have their own box, and if you can find the means to do that, obviously you won't have the manual and stuff like that, but it'll be interesting to see how that kind of shakes things up, even if it does, in terms of how many people are actually looking for Crystal or whatever the particular title was. But it's interesting that people have these as assets now floating around the interwebs.
Yeah, it's the same as like what happened with Insomniac last year, Naughty Dog 4 years ago, and whoever else has been there's a GTA Rockstar. Was that last year or was the year before? Yeah, it's like it's always like fall area. Apart from the Last of Us one wasn't, but it's always like the fall area, and it's just like why? Because they're gonna find you. Yeah, they will find you. They have more resources than you, and they will find you.
So the Last of Us one was, I think the timing of that, obviously the people who hacked it, they were hanging on to those assets to have the most impact when they released it, just before the game release kind of thing, to spoil it for all the people and to spoil the story beats and to make everybody angry. And then obviously people don't do this. I know it's exciting to try and get one up on the corporation, but it's only going to go end badly, and your kneecaps will be removed. That's just the end of it.
Yeah, it sucks. I hope Game Freak have properly locked down and everything, because like I said, to my knowledge, like going off what I've seen,
they released a statement to say they've kind of patched up the way that this intruder got in. So yeah, we'll see.
You don't put a patch up, you put a Charizard in front of the fucker and you say, come at me, bro. I don't care if you got a water type, come at me, bro.
He gave Charizard the roofie pill and he fell right asleep and he just stuck past. That's what happened.
God, yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, give him the roofie pill. But no, don't do stupid things, people. Just don't do it. These companies will come for you, and like how it was just it's like you root, like at the end of the day I'm rooting for Nintendo and put Game Freak to find these people. They've stolen something that's just not theirs. It shouldn't be out there and anything like that. They're damaged, quote unquote, could be damaging their product, which won't really get damaged whatsoever really by the end of it. It's a $10 billion franchise, for God's sakes. $1 billion. They'll be absolutely fine, but it's like they don't want to see, they are Nintendo in general are very protective of their stuff. Hey,
they won't even let you know the developer of a title until you finish it.
Yeah,
you start Echoes of Wisdom, nowhere does it say Grezzo until you get to end credits.
Yeah, because it's not about them. It's about Nintendo. You see Nintendo?
Yeah, that's it.
Nintendo. But yeah, no, yeah, it's just don't do stupid shit, man. Come on, man. It's like just don't.
The code name for this the next Switch as well, Ounce, which is the code name in the same way that PS4 was Morbius and PS5 was Trinity and things like that, and I think the PS5 Pro was Neo. But yeah, Ounce is the code name for the Switch 2 or whatever Switch Up or whatever the successor is going to be named. We'll
see. We'll see. Like, do you think we'll hear anything about that soon, or do you think that's going to be next year, the Switch 2?
So I think
I'm curious.
The 20th of October in 2017, or that week at least, that is when the original Switch was announced. So I think it's going to follow the same pattern. So I think sometime next week we should hear something in terms of like a reveal trailer, and then we'll see you at January, and then they'll do like next week will be the announcement that it officially exists, and we'll see like a silhouette, and then in January we'll have the full reveal with the direct, and then March is my theory at least of when it will land. But
yeah, I still think it'll fall before the financial year finishes in the end of March. But like I'm also like I've heard like stuff from like other developers who do have the Switch 2. They're hearing later next year, like summer, and whatnot. But
yeah, because the last I heard was that production was ramping up in some factory in China, but everybody says that kind of thing. So
basically, no doubt. We'll see. I am intrigued to see what's happening with that, and we'll obviously talk about it when it is revealed and whatnot. Unless, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say if we're done, should we have a cheeky indie game of the week and then have a quick break?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, let's move on to Indie Game of the Week. This is all you, sir.
Yeah, so Indie Game of the Week, this is the part of the show where we highlight an Indie Game of the Week for you to go and wish list and, in theory, buy if this game strikes your heart. Speaking of hearts, this week I want to talk about a game called Galaxy Hearts. This is a title which has some involvement from Anthony Carboni, who you may know from the We Have Concerns podcast, and the It's Too Early streams over on their channel that they do with Sage Ryan. Shout out to them, they are awesome people. So this is Galaxy Hearts. I'm going to give you an excerpt from the description. Choose your shark lover in Rose Magpie's hit dating sim Sharkbait. Grow your relationship, unlock dates, and join a fandom of romance as simulation lovers. Explore your love story with pirates, vampires, mermen, bad boys, and more. See your favorite visual novels played on interactive streams with hosts role-playing and cosplays. Win extra prizes and trivia streams with your favorite creators. And it seems that this is a title which is being crowdfunded at the moment. I believe there's a Kickstarter available for it, but I just wanted to give Galaxy Hearts a shout out. And it's a game unlike no other, and there's some really cool people involved. And yeah, so be sure to check that out. For all the other games we've featured on this podcast, we have a curator page over on Steam where you'll be able to see all the 100+ games that we've featured on Indie Game of the Week, where you can go and wish list and buy, because most of these games have come out now. I know this week on the week of recording, Steam Next Fest is happening, and Amy is busy delving into so many demos, and he's going to come next week and do that pun of, look at these cool rocks I found, and she'll do that pun. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that.
That's when I bring my pillow.
Yeah. All right then, friends. We're going to take a quick break, but for you it'll be a second, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Peace.
What's good, everybody? I hope you're having the best day. The Words About Games podcast is fundraising for the fabulous team over at Special Effect. If you didn't know, Special Effect is a charity that transforms the lives of physically disabled people all over the world through innovative use of technology. The heart of their work is the mission to maximize fun by helping people control video games to the best of their abilities. They're bringing families and friends together, having a profoundly positive impact in quality of life, confidence, and rehabilitation. Amy, Moody, and I have been working on a number of streams to bring you a whole host of shows, games, shenanigans, and more. Everything from ranking Resident Evil, becoming the noble team in Halo Reach, and finding our competitive streak in legally distinct and 90s game shows. We've got several more charity streams in the works, and with your help, we can get there. Special Effect is a charity near and dear to our hearts, and we'd love your support in raising as much money as possible to bring the joy of video games to so many more people. Simply click on the link in the description below of wherever you're enjoying this podcast, or scan the QR code you see now. That will take you to our Just Giving page where you can learn more and donate. If you're not in a position to donate, that's more than okay. Times are tough and we understand. Please consider sharing our Just Giving page on social media. It will help spread the word and the work that we're doing. Thanks for listening, and for now, let's get back to the podcast.
And we're back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a break, that 1 second break. That's like it's sometimes you just need that 1 second break just to get yourself ready to go.
I mean,
and some water as well.
Listen to me waffle on about special effects and that number of charity streams that we've got upcoming, but yeah.
Yeah, we've got some coming. Like we got Dino Crisis for Eamon, and then after that it's a
10-hour marathon
in it. Is it 10 hours?
It might be 12 now.
It might be 12 or 13 hours in there.
We've stretched goals plenty, so hit up special effect, and special effect have kind of switched on their Bluesky social media account, so they've started following people again, so be sure to follow them over on the Bluesky as well. Nice.
Very good. Very good. Well, let's move on to what is not such a blue sky if you are a Football Manager fan. So obviously this was kind of hinted at, I think last week, I think it was, no, I hinted at it when it was finally revealed, this game, and the entire Football Manager fan base who I follow on through YouTube, they're just like, what is this? They haven't shown us anything, and the game is releasing in like 8 weeks. What the hell? Yeah, here is our map. Oh, here's the first thing we're going to show you. We're not going to show you anything. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to delay until next year, because we apparently have heard the feedback. So this is from via YouTube, Eurogamer, and that is Football Manager 25 release delayed until March 2025. Sports Interactive has delayed the launch of Football Manager again, this time until 2025. In a statement that was released, the developer has said that the agreement where they had agreed with publisher Sega to postpone the game's launched on all platforms until March next year. Previously, Footy Sim has been set to arrive on the 26th of November on PC, PS5, and Xbox, and on Nintendo Switch on the 3rd of December. Oh God, I don't want to imagine what it would have run like on that bloody thing. Before that, it had been expected earlier this year. Quote, after careful consideration, Sports Interactive have made the tough decision to further delay the release of Football Manager 2025, or 25, now going by, should I say. The developer wrote in a statement released this afternoon. Following discussion with Sega, our licensees and partners, we have agreed that the best course of action is to delay until March 2025. Specific platform release dates will follow once confirmed. Quote, in our last development update in September, we explained that we needed the push to FM's 2025's original release back to give ourselves more time to deliver the best possible experience for this first installment in a new era of Football Manager. This additional time has not been significant enough to ensure the game's quality and experience meets your expectations and our very high standards. In a previous blog, we explained that it has been a difficult development cycle for the studio. Many things have been moving slower than we had predicted. Despite everyone in the team working at an incredible pace to try and get everything done, the timelines were already tight, and as rightly pointed out by many of our recent comments, and I just want to state, and YouTubers out there who have basically been slating this to bits, or massively worried, should I say. We were simply rushing too much and in danger of compromising our usual standards. This has put an enormous amount of pressure on everybody working across the studio, who are all passionately committed to delivering the best game possible. FM25 is the biggest technical and visual achievement in the series for a generation. We simply cannot compromise the delivery of this crucial juncture in Football Manager's history by rushing it to release it in November. Of course, this is not where any of us expected to be several weeks out from our release, but in the spirit of our studio's values, we always consider the bigger picture, and the bigger picture here is that we need this additional time to deliver a game that we can all be proud of. For the large numbers of you who have already pre-ordered the game, we thank you very much for your trust and support given the delay. However, should you wish to claim a refund, please contact your retailer. Something we noted as missing from our announcement on the 30th of September was mentioned of advanced access on PC database. We can confirm advanced access will be available ahead of the new release date, and when we were confident on how long the period will be, we will update you at the first opportunity. The new gameplay reveal will also now move to the end of January 2025. We are intensely aware that this will be massively disappointing for you. We share that disappointment and are extremely sorry. Thank you for reading and your patience. It means the world to us as we continue to work on creating a new era of Football Manager.
So that was a lot of words.
That is a lot of words. Indeed, a lot of garbled jargon and a lot of word mouth. I'm just going to state that right now, because I can say this on my own thing. I went through this last year with Small Land Survive the Wilds. We were crunching. We weren't doing it by hours, but we were crunching like crazy to get this game in the best state we could, get it out for December. That was the original release date. I think it was like 9th of December, I think it was. For that, and this is basically what they've been doing. They've switched to a new engine, which they've switched to Unity. Why would you switch to Unity with what happened in that place? But it's already been switched, I think, a couple of years ago. So they've been working on this for a while for it, and it's crashed and burned for them. They just haven't got up the pace to the new engine, and it's taken longer to get the game working in a proper great state. So they've pushed it to the latest month, and that is the last month before the financial cut-off period and everything. So the thing is about it, I don't really believe any of what they're saying here. Like, I admit that I agree. I believe what they are saying, and that they have been basically crunching to get this thing out and in the best possible state. I do believe that, but I also don't believe that they did not already know when they released the first trailer to this, which was completely panned, like I stated a few weeks ago. This game has been nothing but worrying like hell for a lot of people who are just the content creators out there who work their asses off to pump out the content when a new game comes out and everything, and they've, like, all of them, all the ones I basically watched basically have panned them for this. Like, they've known this was never going to make it, and at the end of the day, finally the management have finally listened to the part of, like, we're not going to make it, you fools. If we can release it, but you're not going to want the press at all. You don't want that smoke. Because if it goes out in the state that it's probably going to go out, it could do irreparable damage to the franchise, which is just insane to think that when you're doing for it.
I 100% agree with you that the writing was on the wall for this game many moons before they actually came out and said anything, and it was one of these of they would have looked at the numbers, the bean counters would have looked at it and said, okay, how many sales are we expecting to lose if we release now in the state that it's in versus pushing it to March and still getting within the financial year, and kind of looking at the sales data of how many copies can we sell between kind of November and March versus just selling in March kind of thing, and just moving those projections all the way to next year. I don't pretend to understand how hard it is to shift over to a new engine. I imagine it's not the work of a moment, and it's one of these where like you said, from the reveal trailer and how mad everybody was at that would have been the writing on the wall to hold up your hands and say, you know what, you know it, we know it, this game is in the shape that we're in. And they should have, the publisher even should have taken it on the nose, or the publishing side of this should have taken it on the nose to say, this isn't good in terms of, what you had, because I don't believe the publisher changed from FM24. And it's one of these of, what quality this game demands from its what the fan base demands from this game, and looking at the trailer, this just isn't it. And it's one of these of, yeah, I think if they came out with this statement way in advance, people would be less mad about it than they are now, kind of thing. And it's one of these where we're just getting a bunch of word salad saying, oh, we know this is important, and it's only now that we've figured out, oh, the game is shit. And we don't actually know what we're doing. And I think what's disappointing for me is that obviously there's a huge amount of crunch which goes into this beforehand, and in my estimation at least, moving the game back to March doesn't necessarily alleviate the amount of crunch. It just extends the number of months the team will be crunching for, because it's not like they were in the final stages of getting this together. This game looked to be a ways off from being in a state where they would be happy, and more importantly, the fan base would be happy as well, kind of thing. So yeah, my heart goes out to the team there, because I'm sure the execs have been getting the whips out to thrash them to get this game to be as good as it can be. Yeah. But yeah, I hope that the team over there are looking after their mental health as well as everything else, kind of thing, because crunch is no fun for anybody.
Yeah, this is the thing about it. This delay though now compromises FM26.
Yes.
Like, what's 26 going to be? Is that going to be late next year still?
Or is that going to be a palette swap with, it'll be like on the bones of FM25, and they'll just give you the new teams and the new coaches and clubs and things like that. Like basic rosters.
That's all they're really going to do. They aren't going to. They're not going to have the time to be able to do anything really significant enough to be able to change it.
Yeah, as I understand, they don't have like an A and a B team. So while the A team is working on FM25, you can't have pre-production happening on FM26, kind of thing. They don't necessarily have the space to do that, the capacity even.
Yeah, it's like the Spots Interactive, you knew it. Don't lie to us. We all know that you knew the game was not going to be ready. The thing is, you should have done it, and when the release trailer came out in September, you should have done this then. You should have just said, we're sorry, we're not going to be there. We're not going to make it this year. We have to delay until March 2025 next year and everything. Just be on, like, the worst thing is if they did it this way, if they just told us this, I don't think the backlash would have been. People would have been pissed and annoyed. Yeah. But I don't think the backlash would have been bad, because they're more just like, everyone knows. That's the thing about it. We all know. Even though a lot of people who just play the game and don't know much about development and everything like that, we all know. Everybody knows the game is not ready, even though we haven't seen it. Unity have admitted it. It is not. It's not. It's been a difficult development cycle, because there was a Unity video, a conference or whatever, where they're talking about, and they brought up Football Manager, where they actually showed, I believe, stills of the game. And it's like, people that they've stated, like, it's been a difficult develop cycle for that game. It's like, duh. It's like,
in a time frame where here in England, at least, like the focus has been on who is going to be the England manager, who is going to be the manager who's going to manage England's football for the next coming years. And it's one of these where obviously they've been appointed someone who's going to start in early January, that kind of thing. But yeah, for the timing of this to come out when it is, it's the worst possible timing for anybody. And it's kind of, again, it's on management who will call these shots to say, okay, we know this is coming, and they're known for months that they need to put this out. It's working out when the best time to do this is, and now wasn't the time. So yeah, obviously the hearts go out to all those who are really looking forward to it. And I know obviously you as a huge FM fan as well, like this is one of your quote unquote comfort games in terms of something you can just chill out to and zone out and like have the hours just sail by as you take presumably like a lower league team all the way to the top, or whatever it is that you do. So hopefully like there's enough space in the sector for other Football Manager type games to kind of fill that void, and to see, these people have dropped the ball. We can, not to make a pun, but we can really take this and run with it and do something better in terms of competition always improves the breed, as it were. And if there's no competition for them, then they have no impetus to get any better, other than, we might sell fewer copies than we did last year. So maybe they do need a new team to come in and kind of kick them up the arse.
When it comes to like another type of game, like when it was always like FIFA versus Pro Evo, there's not really another game for them or anything like that. Basically, everyone who just plays it now is just going to play the same one's out right now, 24. Okay. They thankfully modders and everything like that have like released like where they've put the new updated squads and everything and like what the game's like now and everything for real life, which I think a lot of people are just doing that instead. I won't lie, Sports Interactive, you need to release an update just with the new updated players, the roster update and leagues update and everything. And just give it to them, because at the end of the day, it's kind of shitty that you've fucked up. So you're hurting the people who will love this game and everything, especially like the content creators who like work their asses off to do this. And it's rare that I give compliments to content creators, like people know that for me and whatnot. No, I don't think they're vultures.
I'm joking.
We're going down a rabbit hole there, but no, it's like they're hurting them as well, like people who are trusting them to do like release games and whatnot. And it's just like at the end of the day, I would say they've probably known this at the beginning of the year that they probably weren't going to make it. I know, like when I was speaking, so like my bosses, like my former boss and everything like that, when I was working with him and everything, like he said, like sometimes like when he was at TT Games for Lego games, like sometimes it was just like we sometimes thought the game wouldn't make it in time, but wow, then bang, the developers have they've found it, they've nailed it, they've got it down, and then we've just obviously QA'd the crap out of it to get it, to make sure it's working how it's intended to do, and boom, we've been able to do this for certain Lego games and whatnot. And it's just like wow and everything. But yeah, it sucks. They should have the Unity release, the new Unity release should have been 2026.
Yes.
For that version, and then they should have just made the same engine what they have now for 24 and just made that for 2025 as well. It would have been simpler and it would have helped freak them up at the end of the day. But yeah, for me, Sports Interactive, for me, I think the minimum you should do an update, an automatic update, instead of going to like some modders are out there to get the new list and get it updated and whatnot. Like I've done that. I've just went, okay, I know who I need to go to. And I've downloaded and I've updated it for myself and whatnot, and I've started a whole new save and whatnot.
I get there's the challenges when it comes to licensing and stuff like that, in terms of for that new roster update, they would have signed with FM25 as opposed to FM24 in terms of that, but that's nothing that a phone call can't fix.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. It would be contractual stuff and everything like that. I agree with you there. But it's just like, you can give them a call still.
Exactly, yeah. Just pick up the phone and have a conversation with them. They're humans at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, we're human. They're humans out there. Corporate humans, but they're humans, I guess. And whatnot. But we'll see what they're like. I still stay like that. So as a person who has gone through this type of thing, I can state, yes, what you said is spot on. Like, was they're still going to probably be crunching and everything like that. I won't lie. For me, on my end, I don't think I was leading up to the release when we finally just said no, we're delaying it type of thing up till February or March it was when the game released, and that was just like the weight off my shoulders, off the team's shoulders was insane, and we felt so much more confident and better with it, even though we still stated like we don't think the game should be releasing in the state it is. But it was 10 times better.
Yeah, it's closer to the mark than it would have been had you launched in December. Yeah, 100%.
No doubt. It's just like, people just unionize to make sure you don't have to crunch and whatnot, because it is a load of bollocks, this. But
absolutely.
To all the team at Sports Interactive, I hope you're able to get this in whatever way. You do some Unity magic and you just somehow nail it and you get it to the spot you need it to be. Let's move to the last story. Vitz, they finally done it.
They did.
They've done it. Korea of Assembly. They've heard our cries,
or my
cries, for 10 long years. They finally did it. I have to zoom in on this. Where is it? There it is.
That's okay. So this is from Discussing Films Twitter account, and this is the news that Alien Isolation 2 has been announced.
Hasn't been announced. Will it still come out? Who fucking knows? But damn, I'll read it off. So from the official Twitter from Creative Assembly to our fans around the world, mainly Moody. It's hard to believe that it's been 10 years since we embarked on our journey with the release of Alien Isolation. When we started development of Alien Isolation, we had one guiding principle: to create a truly authentic experience that went back to the roots of Alien franchise. A new story capturing the atmosphere, terror, and of the original 1979 movie masterpiece. You did that, I won't lie. Even though the game is a little too long still, I'll state that still. It's been nothing short of incredible to witness your passion for the game over the years and to see it reach so many players around the world. Your boundless enthusiasm, excitement, screams, and steely courage in the face of cinema's greatest killer have been profoundly rewarding. Whether you're a nightmare mode veteran, crazy people, or stepping into Amanda Ripley's shoes for the thrilling first attempt, good luck. We wanted to express our deep gratitude. It was a dream project brought to life by a brilliant team, and the reception you have given it over the years is extraordinary. Excuse me. On the 10th anniversary, it seems only fitting to let you know that we have heard your distant calls loud and clear, your distress calls loud and clear. Today, we are delighted to confirm on behalf of our team that a sequel to Alien Isolation is in early development. We look forward to sharing more details in the next 7 years, probably. Yes. Once again, thank you. Until next time. Al Hope, the creative director of Alien Isolation. It's finally happening, and I'm not going to lie. Go on.
It only took 15 years for Ripley's original signal to get picked up by her daughter, so 10 years isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's no doubt about it. I won't lie, though. Alien Isolation, I do believe, has sold very well for them and everything. And people have been crying out for a sequel. There's no doubt about it. I have myself as well. I mean, like, you've got an incredible universe there and everything. The thing that has got this over the line is Alien Romulus.
Absolutely. And
the film.
It's getting back into people's mindset in terms of, oh, Alien is a thing and Alien is awesome. And it's one of these of, oh, we should think about that. Now, the term early development can mean a lot of things. And, neither of us are within the bowels of Creative Assembly to be able to say what that exactly is. It could be that they have an outline of the script or where they want to go. They could be up to storyboards, or they could even have, built on the same bones as Alien Isolation. They might have, some working prototypes and things like that, or some kind of set pieces they have in mind of what they want to do, kind of thing. And this game is a long ways out. And while obviously it's very exciting for Alien fans to have some news that this kind of beloved game is going to come back in some shape or form. We are a long ways off, and hopefully, Romulus has done well enough so far that it's going to get some sequels in the works and things like that to keep your HR Geiger fix kind of satiated up until this game comes out. But I'm really happy for them. But temper your expectations, because this is going to be a long old wait for this game, and let's hope it's one of these where it's not kind of developed in silo. And I like Bethesda games at this, in terms of a Fallout game will be made in a silo, kind of irrespective to all the advancements the rest of the industry is making, and then when it comes out, people say, oh, it's great for a Bethesda game, and they kind of ignore the jank and stuff like that. And I kind of want the Creative Assembly team to take the learnings which other teams have done when it comes to horror games as well, and to kind of adapt some of those as well, and not just think, well, Alien Isolation was great and that was 10 years ago, so in 20 years it'll be great, it'll be still great, kind of thing. And kind of take bits and pieces of inspiration from other games and the kind of mechanics and systems they use, because you're dealing with a different audience, because there'll be a lot of new people who Alien Romulus was their first Alien title, kind of thing, coming to this, and they'll have different expectations for what Alien game should be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's no doubt Alien Romulus is the thing that has catalyzed this to become announced. There's no doubt about it. I think they've probably been like saying, Disney, please, for God's sakes, you've just seen your movie's made over $300 million on like an $80 million budget. You fucking have made bank. Let us do a game, please. Let us do the sequel that everyone's been crying out for and everything. And yeah, and like people are like we've got the Alien show that's coming out next year, Alien Earth on FX. I'm very intrigued to see what that's going to be for it, but yeah, it's I was all lying when I saw it. When you saw it, I think it was you put it in our Discord. I was like, "What the fuck? No way! They're actually doing this? No way!" So yeah, so the latest 2028. I'm just saying that, depending on the development cycle. If it's literally just started, 2030, next generation. They're like PS6, Xbox. Extra large, whatever the hell you call yourself. But can we have those specs, please, so we know what we're aiming for and whatnot? But yeah, like I've just like I watched like a couple of hours of the Nick and Andy playing
Cortez,
it. Yeah, on Kind of Funny. The game, like they were saying, it looks good still to this day. 10 years later, the game looks gorgeous. So like graphics wise, they don't really have to do anything spectacular or anything like that. I think people will obviously be like, can you have the lip syncing a little bit better than when you first released it? Because I think it's better now, but it's obviously when it first released, I think it was a bit janky for a lot of people. But yeah, they know what to do, and they know how to. My hope would be is just like a more contained story, not as long. You didn't need it to be a flipping 18-20-hour story for an Alien game.
That's the feedback that I heard, that it just outstayed its welcome at the end of it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, like there's a literal part where you're like, I'm at the end of the game. I know I'm at the end of the game. This has got to be the end of the game, right? And when I finished that part, I was just like, how is this not the end of the game? Why? No, now there's more of them. No.
Cinema's greatest villain doesn't go down that easy.
yeah. It's just like, this is not fair. This is not fair. But no, I will be intrigued to see if they take any of the new ideas that was put into Romulus.
Yes,
because there are some ideas that are there. We're just like, wow, like wow. But
I'm looking forward to checking that out, because as you mentioned at the top of the show, it's now available, on digital services and things like that. So be sure to go check that out. As well as Wild Robot, which I didn't think would come to platforms so quickly, but that is there. So that's another one. That's the latest DreamWorks movie. So
I've heard that is
phenomenal. Yeah.
I've heard that. I'm gonna check that out soon for it. But Alien Isolation 2. It's finally happening.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take us back. Take us back. And like, if you need a QA tester.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Creative Assembly, hit your boy up.
Give me a call. There's a statue right there. Right there.
What more do you want exactly?
There. And the box and everything. I have it all. And even though you can't see it, there's a get away from her, you bitch display it there. There's an alien poster there. I have giant freaking alien poster. Put a picture from my partner for Christmas last year. I haven't hung it up yet because I don't know where to put the fucker.
He's got a power armor outside. He doesn't have a car. He just has a power armor. He walks around and that's it.
I've got a pulse rifle somewhere around here.
Exactly.
I don't know. But I look forward. Take your time. Don't rush it. I look forward to seeing whatever it is revealed and everything. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. Moody.
So go on.
Let's head on over to OpenCritic Head-To-Head.
Yes, sir. We are here. OpenCritic Head-To-Head. We're finally here. Games have hit. Games have got reviews. Games are here. Yeah, hallelujah to that. So if everyone doesn't know, this is a week game where me, Vitz, and Amy pick a game, guess the score of what the review game's going to get, from OpenCritic. And I've just been badass this year for it. I won't lie. I've been kicking everyone's ass. It's just apparently I've won it since February. That's what it says, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, February on Alien Day. The day before Alien Day, apparently. when this was written and whatnot. But so the games this week we reviewed was or not reviewed, we guessed was one is
Zoocosis.
Zoocosis, thank you very much. That still does not have any reviews yet, so we'll move on to the next one for that, and that is Never. This game looks absolutely flipping gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to hopefully finding again.
This is a follow-up from the team who bought you Greece,
Greece, thank you. So it has reviewed at a number of 87. So Vitz guessed 86, Amy guessed 80, and myself, Moody, guessed 82. And Vitz has got the 1 point score, bringing it all up for Vitz.
1 point away, damn it.
1 point away, 1 point. Next up is Super Mario Party Jamboree. Jamboree, close. That has a critic score right now of 81. Vitz guessed 80. Amy guessed 83. Moody guessed 75. I was way off. But Vitz, you get the point once again. Adding more points to you. Will you catch Amy by the end of the year? Who knows?
We will see.
Next up is Unknown 9 Awakening. It has a critic score of 69. Nice. Vitz guessed 77, Amy 72, and Moody guessed 69.
Yeah, you did.
And I get the 2 points for getting the score correct. There are no scores right now of critic score for Life is Strange Double Exposure, which is not a surprise. The game is not fully out yet for another 2 weeks. Yes. Even though for some idiotic reason, someone has reviewed it, and I'm just like, there's only 2 episodes, you idiot.
Yes, but anyway, I read half of this book. I'm now going to give my final thoughts on it.
I don't need to worry about the final 3 episodes. The whole world could end, and I don't know it. But the first 2 episodes.
There's some previews going around, and I was lucky enough to check out the kind of funny preview that happened. So, they had their thoughts. I won't say good or bad because providing. Or in case people don't want to say that, but some previews are out, and like I said, there's only now less than it was last week in terms of time to wait and avoid spoilers and stuff. So keep fighting the good fight of staying off social medias and whatnot. The scores, as I said, so Amy's currently on 30, Moody's is 10 points ahead on 40. I am catching on 22, and draws at the moment have 6 points.
Yes, indeed.
This week, we're going to be trying to guess the OpenCritic scores of 3 games. The first is Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. Moody, it's your turn to go first. I don't know anything about this game. I'm going to be real with you.
I have no idea either, and I'm going to guess... fuck it. 80. I'll go 80.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go just purely on vibes of the name, which I know I shouldn't do, but I'm going to go with a 76.
What? 180.
Exactly. Amy will give her scores, I'm sure, when she has a chance to jump into there. The next game we're going to be trying to guess the score of is an important one for many of our friends, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. So this is Sonic Generations, kind of the remaster of that, but adding Shadow the Hedgehog as a playable character. In December, Keanu Reeves will be lending their voice to Shadow the Hedgehog as he does in Sonic 3 the movie as well. Moody, my friend, it's your turn to go first again.
I'll go 79.
Nice. I think I don't think you're too far away from the mark there. Sonic games, the Sonic sickos out there, they love a Sonic game, but the critics not so much. I will go with a let's go 80, just in case these Sonic sickos love Shadow just as much as well. And then the last title we're going to be trying to guess the OpenCritic score of this week is Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is very much the Hail Mary that Microsoft has bid all the chips on when it comes to Game Pass in their strategy. Because outside of that, I don't think they have one. But we'll see how this goes, and if it causes people to get Game Pass, sign up to Game Pass, keep Game Pass, who the heck knows. But Moody, how do you think it's going to score next week?
The Black Ops games are normally pretty loved,
Yes.
even by critics.
Now,
Even though when people say they're
the
bad.
last mainline Call of Duty, the single player was critically panned, and I think the player base didn't like it either. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the whole January 6th simulator, which happens to be Black Ops 6. So yeah.
82.
82.
I think I'm going high there. I think I'm going way high.
I'm gonna go 80 on this one, just in case, because it could go both ways. Because I think most of the mainstream places will focus more on like the multiplayer aspects rather than the single player, because I think that's just indicative of where the fan base is as well. In terms of some people will get Black Ops and not even touch the story, or they'll just dive straight into multiplayer like they do Warzone and things like that. So we should see where Amy sits on this one. And that, my friends, is OpenCritic Head-To-Head.
Like Black Ops 4 going 84.
That was some years ago, though, right? At this point,
Black Ops 3 79. That was 2015. That one. Black Ops 4. What was that? When did that come out? That was 2018. So wait. Did they just skip 5? Or did that not get a number?
maybe that didn't get a number.
Black Ops Cold War 2020, 75.
5, yeah.
It's got to be 5, yeah. Well, weird. We're just going to forget 5.
There you go.
We'll just jump to 6. But yeah, apparently, like everyone likes it. I've been smashing it. Yeah, it's pretty good, and whatnot. So I've won it since February, apparently. So it's all good. I won't lie. Like I was getting a little bit worried because like Amy's been like popping off with some of the scores of late.
Yeah,
she's just been like boom, 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 boom. Like she got 2-pointer last week in Metaphor. And then I was just like, yeah, I'll just get a.
I was so close to a full point conversion on this week, but no, oh well. Never mind.
Never mind.
We'll take the 2.
Never mind. Yeah, we'll take. All right, everyone. That is it. We are done and dusted. It's time for you to end the podcast.
Oh hell yeah! Whatever you're doing, friends, do it to the best of your ability. I hope you know how proud of we all are, and I hope you are just as proud of yourself. You are doing an awesome job. Thriving and indeed surviving, because that's a lot in this heady world that we find ourselves in. Be sure to take care of yourselves in every way, shape or form. Check in on a friend, make sure they're having a good day as well. And until next time, keep playing those games. Peace.
Peace out.